This design calls for the installation of some parking pads or bays, if you like, in this area here, which is hatched with the concrete symbol. So here's the vehicle come through there, down and around, and can park enough parking for 3 vehicles. If we turn on line weight, as I've done now, lines of course all thicken up, but if you look at the pad here, you can see that the hatching for the concrete base or porous base, whatever has been specified as the base for that parking area, is overlaying the lines that indicate the park areas themselves. So the stacking order of the hatching is not quite right. How do we fix that up? Let's turn line weight off for the moment, and we'll go back to the model and zoom in, and there are a number of ways to deal with this, but that hatching can be sent underneath this object. So let's pick that object there. There does appear to be some lines underneath, so let's, just for an experiment, we'll erase that information, and that did not work for us. So this piece of information here is in fact a block. So let's right click and edit the block. Let's pick the hatching, the solid hatching, and erase it, and let's imagine that we want to leave those internal lines in. So what we need to do is just make this outer line here a polyline, and it already is a polyline, and we can fill it. So it's a matter of coming over here and fill, and we'll just move away and unselect all there. The red lines that we saw through here, let's change their colour, and we'll make them, for the sake of this argument, and we'd probably change it a little later, we'll make them by block, and now the line appears on top, so we can select the other line. We can use our modify and match properties. We can pick that one there, and we want to match the properties of that line through there. Let's unselect. So now when we close the block editor, you can now see that we've got a solid colour through there for the parking area. I'll regen, and what we can now see is that it's just by chance, but the block there sits on top of, let's unselect all, it sits on top of the hatching. We still haven't got the internal marking lines the way we want them, but we've removed some hatching and made the drawing simpler. And if we move now to here, now turn line weight on, it's clearly above that block, and turn line weight on, and now you can see that in that instance now the stacking order is now correct as far as that particular entity is concerned. Let's see if we can change the stacking order of these other 2 entities easily. So we'll go to model, and we can, if we're lucky, we should be able to pick the hatching and just go to tools and send to the back is the quickest and simplest way of doing it. So now all 3 entities sit behind.